Most traders have heard that you need to have a trading plan before you approach the markets. But what does that actually mean, and how do you get systematic with your trading? My guest today is Jeff White, and we're going to talk about that. So Jeff, when you talk about systems as a trader or being systematic, what do you mean?
Well, some people really take it to an extreme, and they want to completely fully automate their trading. Most of us, however, are discretionary traders. And so being a discretionary trader, I think it's very important to walk into each day or each week with some kind of a game plan in place. You need to have a process as a trader that you're going to go through to not only locate your trades, but then how you're going to implement that trade, how you're going to manage it along the way. It's not just about finding a good setup. It's about putting on a trade and knowing what you're doing throughout the progression of that trade, rather than maybe taking the amateur approach of kind of ready, fire, aim, which I think a lot of people do, and it gets them into a lot of trouble.
All right, so does this mean I should be choosing all my trades pre-market hours, maybe after hours, homework the night before, or can I choose something that's happening right in front of me during the day?
I certainly like the idea of selecting trades outside of market hours. That's something that I personally do, and a big advantage of doing that is I'm able to take my time and do that right. I'm able to go through the process. I can review more setups and take the very best ones. And during the day when the market's on the move, I might kind of abandon my discipline a bit because I don't want to get left behind. So if, for example, I'm looking for setups during the day and the market starts to lift, I might just put some trades on so that I can participate. And that's not something that's going to help me. What I want to have is some process that's kind of a standing system for me so that I know when I need to be taking action and when I need to be sitting on my hands and waiting for the market to kind of come to me a little bit more.
All right, so in your homework that you're doing to plan out these trades, are you then finding profit targets and stop losses and knowing all of that before you get in?
Yes, and so what I'm doing is I'm trying to find good setups that offer me good risk-reward opportunities so that I know where I'm involved in the trade, where I definitely need to be out of the trade. I want to be able to determine a profit target, and that's either going to be based on the pattern that I'm trading or by simply looking to the left on the chart. I might notice a prior high or low that this thing is approaching. And as I put that trade on, I also need to understand what needs to happen along the way for me to make some adjustments to that trade. I want to be systematic in that regard as well. So for me, I like to have a couple of profit targets. Once my first target has been achieved, if not sooner, I'm definitely at that point raising my stop for the remainder of my position. So again, it's about having some checklist and some process to not only find your trades, but how to deal with them once you've got them on.
And I imagine if you're not disciplined, this would help you kind of something to lean back on rather than just, I'm going to trade what looks good to me today.
Absolutely, and the market is a very emotional place, and trading promotes emotion. And that's not necessarily a good thing for a lot of people. And so it's very important to have some kind of checklist. It doesn't have to be rocket science. You don't have to go through 1,000 different system checks before you pull the trigger on a trade. But it is important to have confidence in your process and to have some contingency plans to fall back on should that original plan happen to get disrupted in some way.
Jeff, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
You're watching the MoneyShow.com video network.